do this. Where should I set my camera? Ignore the mess. People watching this back. I literally have not had time to clean as much as I would like to normally. And my apartment doesn't have a washer and like a dryer normal setup. So I have like a portable washing machine, and then I have to like hang dry my clothes. So if you see clothes in the background, I just washed clothes yesterday, so you might see some clothes in the background still drying. I'm trying to think. I'm not carving the white one. I think it's so cute. I'm not gonna bother like with that one. I just like it for decor. Um, but this big orange one is the one I'm gonna carve, and I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Um, Normally I like freehand sketch onto the pumpkin, but I have like what I'm gonna do is this dude from the mayor from the Halloween town. Hello. I don't know if you guys know. Well, I assume most people know the movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I have the little template um of the mayor from that, and I have both faces. I don't know if I'm gonna do both, like do one on one side and do the other side, the other face, because he's double faced. If you haven't seen the movie, it's one of my favorite Halloween movies. Of course, it's got to be like the best, one of the best Halloween movies for like family type Halloween. Like it's not scary, um, but it's a fun Halloween movie if you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out the best way, if I should just like cut out the template. I'm gonna set you guys up here, and we're gonna figure this out. I just got some kind of email. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna use the other pumpkin to prop you guys up, and I'm gonna figure out. I'm at my kitchen table. I'm trying to figure out the best sides too. I think this side, and then this side. Let me get some scissors to cut the template. It's been a crazy week for me. Like, this is really like the most free time I've had so far. Like, I haven't even had time to paint, um, because I had a presentation for biochemistry lab yesterday. So that was kind of hectic because my partner, he's really nice, but he wasn't communicating with me, and it was like a partner presentation because we have lab partners in biochemistry lab, and so he wasn't like responding as quickly as I would like. So I had to keep trying to figure out my part of the thing, and part of the issue with that is the slides were connected. So if he didn't do one of his slides, I couldn't do the next slide because I needed to know what he was going to say for that slide. So it was kind of like, I hate partner work because of that, but at the same time, it's so much easier doing partner work because you don't have to do all the work. But it just, I don't know, it got a little complicated um, because he wasn't responding. Like, I mean, he just wasn't responding at all to my texts or anything. But that made it a lot harder than it had to be. But I think we did okay at the actual presentation. Um, we won't know until they grade it, which it's. I'm trying to prop up the camera. Sorry. It seems like they're grading things pretty slow, even though our lab ends in like a month. Because our lab for us always ends like a week before classes end, and classes end at the end of November for the semester, and this is my last semester. If you guys didn't know, of undergrad, so yeah. So I like my point is, we don't have much time left in this lab, and I still don't have most of my grades in it. So I don't know how that's gonna go. Like, I don't know how I'm doing. I mean, right now I have a 90 in the lab, but I don't know how that's gonna go down when they put in this grade for the presentation. But like I said, I think we did okay. It's like a semi-formal presentation, verbal presentation, like for biochemistry lab. I don't know if other colleges do it this way. Hello. Yeah, I don't know if other colleges do it this way where you have like you have to do formal verbal presentations for biochemistry lab. So you have to like dress all nice, and then you go and meet with your lab instructors, and you have a PowerPoint presentation, and you explain the experiment that you've been doing so far. Because for us, for our lab, it's a whole semester long um, experiment. So we're just doing one big experiment instead of with other labs that I've been in where you do different little experiments for each lab that you're there, or you carry over like one lab from next week, but mostly new lab. So I cut out his face. I'm trying to see the best way to do this because the problem is the paper isn't really flexible, and I don't use templates normally, so I don't know how people normally use templates. You guys, I don't know how to do this with the template, so I'm probably gonna just have to freehand it. I've never used a template or anything. Oh gosh, I don't know. Guys, what do I do with this thing, this template? I don't know how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, I think you're supposed to use like special paper if you're doing a template for pumpkins. I don't know. This is just regular printer paper, so that's kind of where my struggling is coming out. Cut out the eyes, use a marker, then trace and remove cut out pumpkin. Let me see if I know what you mean, because, okay, let me show you the template again. So you see how the template, it like, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but this is like where I cut out. So I guess what you're saying is cut out these parts and then place them on the pumpkin and then cut around those, or like mark around those. Is that what you're saying? I think that makes sense. And then like arrange them how they're supposed to be on there and then trace around them. I don't know. Yeah, usually okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I see what you're saying. Let's try that. I need to get a marker or something. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm so used to just like freehanding it. I didn't even think about like how to do it with a template or anything. Of course, first I have to gut the pumpkin, which I haven't done yet. Does anyone else do what I do, where I always use the seeds and I roast them, and then I roast them like with different seasonings. So I'll do one batch that has just plain salt, and then one that has cinnamon sugar, and then one that has Old Bay seasoning, because I'm from Maryland, and Old Bay seasoning is pretty much what we put on everything, and it tastes really good on pumpkin seeds, roasted pumpkin seeds. I love roasted pumpkin seeds. I eat them so much during this time of the year because usually I save them from the pumpkins. Freehand would work too. Yeah. I just don't know. This, like, he's a specific character, so I didn't really want to freehand him and mess him up. I did Jack Skellington one year, which was freehand, and that turned out pretty well. I did the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus one year. I carved them into the pumpkin, and that turned out pretty well. And then I did the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters one year. which I have not watched this year so far. Like I said, I've been so busy. Like it hasn't even felt like Halloween's this week because I've been just going through so much with like school. So I've been up since 6 a.m., which is, I know, not early to a lot of people, but that's really early for me. But I've been up since like 6 a.m. ish, and I didn't really skip much sleep before that because I was so stressed because I had my second biochemistry exam this morning. So yesterday I had my big presentation for the lab, and then for the lecture today, because they're separate classes, I had the second exam. So this week has just been like one thing after another as far as school has gone. But like I'm just trying to push through it because I'm towards the end. Like I'm so close, you guys. I have 6 weeks until I graduate. So as long as I keep doing decent in this class, like the biochemistry class, I should be fine and to graduate in December. So I'm trying my best to like push through. Uh, but it is things are really picking up as far as like getting towards the end of the semester, which it does that every year. Things pick up every single year like that. But I don't know, this year in particular, I guess because maybe it's my last semester and I'm taking more difficult courses. um, the work is just like it's so much. But that's partially also why I finally have like free time. I wanted to carve the pumpkin to do something fun to make myself feel like it's it's Halloween, you know. I work all day basically Halloween. Like I work from 12 to 5. And then afterwards I'm gonna go hang out with some friends. I might go trick or treating because I still look young enough to go trick or treating. So, so as long as I still look young enough, I'm definitely gonna go get some candy, some free candy. Um, People don't think I'm 22, so I'm not gonna let them believe anything else. At least for Halloween purposes for trick or treating. But I have a costume. It's barely a costume because it's a lot of things that I wear anyway. I'm gonna be Will Smith from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. His how he used to look on that show, because I have the overalls and I have the shirt that I'll show you guys in a little bit. But I thought it was perfect because it's such an easy costume, because it's like I said, I already had the overalls. I just had to buy a shirt that looked kind of like 90s ish, 80 late 80s ish. So I found that when I was in Winston-Salem a couple weeks ago for my fall break. But I was like, I bet you I can still go trick or treating, and I guarantee you I can. I no one believes I'm my age, so um, this is one of the only perks of looking young, is that I can get away with trick or treating still. So I think I'll go to work 12 to 5, and then after that I'll probably hit up one of the well, in our downtown area, they do a little trick or treating event with all the businesses for the kids. So I might do that, or I might go into a neighborhood or something. But I'll probably just go downtown because I feel like that's where most people are going to be, and that's where most of the candy is going to be. Um, I know it sounds crazy, but look, you got to do the simple things in life that bring you joy. And, if I can still go trick or treating, I'm going to do it. I know a lot of people are going to be like, you're taking advantage, you're an adult, just go buy your own candy. Yes, I could buy my own candy, but where's the fun in that? I want a variety of candy. I don't want to just like go buy candy, you know. Although I might still buy my own candy because they're always cheaper um after Halloween. They mark down the candies. Okay. But yeah, definitely gonna try to go trick or treating after work with my friend, because she also looks very young. So again, I don't think they would really even care or question either one of us. I don't know if she has a costume though, so that might be a little difficult. If she, oh yeah, she does. She does have a costume. She's gonna be Miss Frizzle. I remember because we were looking for a part of her costume while we were in Winston Salem. Um, she was looking for these like specific earrings to complete the costume because she found the perfect, literally the perfect dress at one of our local thrift shops that I'm pretty sure was part of a Mrs. Frizzle costume at one point. So she was looking for some like fun earrings to go with it. Okay, so I've got his side of the face cut out. All right, hang in there, you'll make it. Thank you. I am definitely so close. So close. I mean, I have a countdown on my Instagram and I have a countdown on my phone of when graduation is because it's just getting so close. I really can't believe it. For those who don't know, this is technically my 5th year, not even my full 5th year because I just had an extra semester. So originally I was scheduled to graduate last semester, so May of 2021. But because I had so many classes to take in order to go to a medical professional field, originally I was going to go to med school, so I had to take all these classes. So that's why I ended up having to take another semester this semester. And because I was already almost at this minor, I just added on another minor. So now when I graduate, I'll have a minor in biology and a minor in chemistry. So right now, I'm just basically finishing my minor in chemistry because I've already taken all the classes I already have my minor in biology. And then my major is philosophy. So I have like basically I have all the classes for that. I'm taking one last like senior level philosophy class that's killing me because it's so much reading. And then we have to write a big paper at the end, which I'm so annoyed about because with a lot of like writing based, well, actually just a lot of majors in general, they require you to like write a big paper at the end before you graduate, and it's called a capstone or a thesis. So I already wrote my senior thesis last year and turned it in and got an A, and they loved it and they still talk about it to this day. Like one of my professors said he brought it up in a few of his classes, my senior capstone, and so that was like 20 pages. And so I thought I was done writing big papers, but nope. This senior level philosophy class, the last one I'm taking, she wants us to write another 15 to 20 pages. And I'm like, I don't even know what to write about at this point anymore because I feel like I've finished. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what else to say. So I'm gonna have to really quickly come up with an exact topic of what to write about because it has to be, I think she said at least 15 pages. So I'm like, oh my God, another 15 pages. I don't even know like where to begin. But I will figure it out. I'm a pretty decent writer, and writing is not too hard for me as long as I can get a topic going that's worth writing about so I don't get bored. What medical professional am I going for? Oh, so I changed my focus. I think I mentioned this in my last video. I was originally going to go to med school. However, I realized that's just not something I want to put myself through. So I had like a big giant meltdown about that a few weeks ago, like a month ago, because I realized I was getting so close to graduating and I needed to make up my mind for sure. I'm cutting out the top of the pumpkin right now. That's what I'm doing. I needed to figure out what I wanted to do for sure so I could figure out my next steps right after I graduate. But yeah, I had a big crisis because I was like, I really don't think at this point in my life I want to put myself through another 4 years of med school and then 6 years of like internship and residency, and then all throughout that you have to take like these hard internship exams, and it like never ends. And so I had to shift my focus to something I wanted to do more. And so for me right now, that means I'm going to go to PA school physician's assistant school. It's a 2-year program, and I mean, physicians do pretty much everything that a primary care doctor does anyway, and that's what I wanted to do was primary care medicine. Um, so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna put myself through med school, at least right now. That doesn't mean later down the line that I won't go to med school. It's still very much a possibility. I just don't want to do it to myself right now, especially because even if it was about the money for me, which it's not. I just want to take care of people and prevent them from needing further health interventions, and I want to serve smaller populations that don't have access to healthcare as much good healthcare. Um, this pumpkin is a lot easier to cut than I thought it would be. But yeah, it's not about the money for me. But even if it was, primary care physicians and physicians assistants, the difference in their salaries is really not that much. And like I said, the PA school program is literally 2 years versus like by the time I was going to be a doctor, it would have probably been like 8 years later, 8 years down the line. So, you know, you just gotta weigh your pros and cons about that kind of situation. Another thing I was looking into was nurse practitioners, because they also do a lot of the same kind of care that I wanted to do. Um, but yeah, so you just got to be realistic about what you want to do in your life. And I'm still young. I mean, like I said, I'm only 22, so I have time if I want to go back and end up going to med school after going to PA school. And in fact, it would be a lot easier because I would already have my PA by that point. I have a nephew who is one. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, no, I started realizing I was like every doctor, I put doctor in quotation marks because they're not technically doctors, PAs, but every time I've gone to a doctor's office, I started realizing I almost never see a doctor. I usually see a PA or a nurse practitioner. So I was like, wait a minute, that they're doing what I want to do, and they're not like they didn't go to med school. So why am I putting myself through because I still would have had to take the MCAT, which is a whole thing in itself. I would have had to take a preparatory course for that, and it was going to be a long, long time before I got through med school, and it just wasn't worth it to me at this point in my life. So yeah, you got to make whatever decisions is best for you in your life, and you know yourself. Of course, my family was a little disappointed. Well, my granddad was, but my nana was like, I completely understand why you're making that decision for yourself. She was very understanding. She understood exactly where I was coming from, and that I was being realistic about the situation. Because my GPA, while it's high, it's not as high as a lot of med schools would like it to be, especially in North Carolina where I live. It's quite competitive. We got Duke, Chapel Hill. It's very, very competitive. My advisor, she said that she thought I would still get in, even though my GPA is a little bit lower, because I have all these other qualities that they look for in med school as far as my other things that I've dabbled in. So she thought I could have still got in, but like I said, I told her I didn't really want to at this point in my life, and she also understood why I was making that decision, because it's a big commitment to go to med school. Like it's a huge thing to put yourself through. I mean, the sheer amount of anxiety alone doing all of that is just, I don't want that in my life right now. I got a lot going on already. This pumpkin doesn't have a lot of seeds in it, which is pretty disappointing. Oh no. Oh no. I might only be able to do 2 batches of 2 different flavors. This pumpkin doesn't have a lot of guts, is what I'm saying. I'm gonna try to show you guys inside the pumpkin. Let's take you inside the pumpkin. It's quite, maybe they're hidden underneath this clump. Maybe there's more seeds in here. Let's show you. Can y'all see? It's not as many seeds as I thought would be in here. Um, I'm hoping there's more under that like clump right there. So we'll see. We'll dig that out. I love carving pumpkins. There's something so therapeutic about it. And like I said, after that exam today, which I knock on wood, think that I did well, but I thought I did well on the first exam we had in her class. This is again the biochemistry class I'm taking is really difficult. Um, I thought I did really well, and I did not. I remembered all the equations, but I was so like nervous that I missed a lot of simple. I made a lot of simple mistakes that I should have known better because it was the first exam and I was so scared and But I remembered all the formulas and stuff. I just didn't read as closely as I should have on some of her questions. She makes her exams very difficult, actually. But so I did not great, but I actually still did better than the average of that exam, which the average of that exam was a 59. So you can see what I mean by everyone did horrible on that on that exam. It was not good. She was so not happy. But I was like, okay, so if everyone did bad, maybe you should think about why everyone did bad since you're the teacher, you're the professor. And she was like, well, I don't think I made the exam too hard. And I was like, I don't know about that. Um, if everyone did horrible, you know. And the thing is, we were like all studying and like because I go to the tutoring sessions for biochemistry every week, and we were all studying, and that's what I'm like. So it's not like we didn't try for that first exam, but we'll see. I don't know. As I was leaving, she was like, "How do you think you did?" She asked me how I thought I did, and I told her I was like, "I don't know." She was like, "Do you think?" Because she puts extra points on there, so she grades it like there's 110 possible points instead of just 100. And she was like, "Do you think you got 110?" And I was like, "I am probably not. I'm not gonna even bother to try to be confident about it anymore because I've learned my lesson from the first exam to not be confident in her class." um, but I really hope I did decent. I got it. It's got to be better than the first exam. That's all I gotta say. I hope and I believe that I did better than the first exam. Um, I hope. I'll cry if I didn't. And yeah, so I just don't know what I would do at that point because I've been studying like crazy, um, rewriting my notes, going to all of the tutoring sessions, doing review, watching her videos over and over. So I did what I had to do. So if at this point I didn't do better, I don't know. But yeah, I'm like stressed because I don't even she grades fast, but I don't know how fast she's gonna grade this exam because I had a lot of like open responses on it. Um, so we'll see how long it takes, but I'll keep you guys updated on how I did. Um, but yeah, it was a major. She calls them cumulative quizzes because she thinks that makes it sound less scary. When I'm just like, just say exam. It's not gonna make it any better. Just call it an exam. But she's really nice, my professor for biochemistry, which is the only saving grace about this class because I think biochemistry is cool. It's interesting. It's like knowing how the body works as far as enzymes, like the things that make your body do all the fun things that it does. So I think it's really interesting. It's just a difficult class, as you can imagine. Um, I don't know. Did anyone else here take biochemistry? This is always the messiest part, scooping out all the guts, as I call them. I don't know what other people call it, but I call it the guts of the pumpkin. Scooping out all the seeds and stuff. And then I'm gonna set these in water to rinse off the guts part of it off of the seeds. rinse that, like set that in water, separate those, and then I put it on a paper towel to dry for a few hours, and then you bake them at, I think what I do is bake them at 350 for 15 minutes. But before I bake them, I toss them in butter and then the seasonings, and they're so good. I'm telling y'all, and they're healthy, so they're like a nice healthy snack. Um, and it's like a 2-for-1, so you get a nice fun pumpkin to carve, and then you get a nice snack. Okay, yeah, this is actually a pretty decent amount of seeds. There were seeds underneath of that clump, like I was hoping. Okay, so maybe I will have enough to do 3 small batches of the flavors of, like I've been saying. I don't know. We'll see. Oh my gosh. I have to show you guys Kier in a second because he has such a cute outfit on. I'm gonna take pictures of him in it. I just, like I said, I haven't had time to really do anything because of the exams and my presentation. But I'm gonna show you guys. I haven't taken pictures of him in the outfit yet, but I will tonight, hopefully. It's a little cute little outfit with apples on it because fall. I've had this outfit for a while. I don't think he's worn it though. If not, I can't remember, and I don't think anybody would remember. Oh gosh. So messy. We are making some progress though. You can see getting the rest of that scooped out of there. Those more seeds in there. I never buy a pumpkin carving set for whatever reason. Like every year I just end up not buying one, and then I don't end up needing it anyway. I just use a regular like kitchen knife, which could be very dangerous. Yeah, I know. But I'm always very careful, you'll see, not to cut my finger off. And then I have this little metal spoon when I'm using to just scoop out of it. But sometimes I don't even use a spoon. I just use my hands and I scrape the inside. But this time I'm using a spoon to make sure I get really close and get most all the seeds I can out. And then this year, what I'm doing different is I got these from the Dollar Tree. I got some glow sticks to put in there to make it glow on the inside. I think I do also have one of those lights that might fit in here, like one of those battery operated lights that might fit in here. Because obviously the glow sticks are gonna eventually not glow. But I thought it would be fun to see them glow because they're different colors. So I'll take some like pictures of them at night glowing the different colors. And then like all the other nights, I guess I'll just use like the LED light inside. I need to film like an actual video. I was pre-med for a while until I came to the same realization you didn't want to give up another 6 years. Yeah, exactly. It's just such a commitment, and people don't understand that because they're thinking so much about, the prestige that goes with going to med school. I mean, I was even like, I would tell people, oh yeah, I'm pre-med, I'm going to med school, and it always gets that that reaction of, wow, that's amazing, you're amazing. And a part of me didn't want to give up that feeling of people, other people outside of me, when I tell them that, they get like really excited for me. But I found actually now, because now when I'm at work, all the time people ask me, what are you majoring in, what are you doing after graduation, and I tell them now that I'm going to PA school, and they're still really happy and excited for me. So you know what, it's just one of those things, but also you shouldn't base your life on what other people think. That's a big no-no anyway, so I had to stop doing that. Like I said, I didn't want to disappoint my family and not go to med school, but also, like I said, I had to make that executive decision, and so I did. But yeah, for a while I was like, I don't want to give up that feeling of people being like proud, like even strangers would be proud of me. And like it sounds so stupid because who cares what strangers think, but there's just something about that kind of like ego boost of even a stranger feeling proud of you for a little bit. But strangers strangers are still proud of me, so that's good. um but through the situations, um with my schooling, and with how I grew up for 10 years, we were me and my mom were in a situation with someone who was trigger warning, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. Now that I'm finally out of that situation, now that I'm slowly getting older and older, um I'm more realizing more and more that people can say whatever they want to say about you, and it does not matter unless it's true. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's things going on right now, clearly, with people who are saying a lot of things that are not true about me. And I just had to realize, the people who know me, which is a lot of people in this community, and people who know me in real life, I say real life, but I'm pretty real on my channel with everything that goes on in my life. People outside of the community who know me as well, we know the truth about who I am. I can be mean sometimes, of course, but we know the truth of who I am. Anybody can be mean at any given time. So once I started realizing, the people who matter are going to be the people who know the truth about me and actually care to know the truth, I started to realize, like, why do I care what anyone else says is the truth about me, like, when I know it's not? So once I convinced myself, honestly, who just cares at this point? I started, stepping back from the situation, and you just got to move forward with your life. And that goes for as far as well as people who, in my family wanted me to go to med school. I know what I want to do. I know who I am. And so I'm just moving forward, and I'm hoping now. So I told people on Instagram, but I did not tell, you guys on here yet, because the last video I made was the before I got the object that I'm very excited about. So a few weeks ago, I got a car seat for really cheap. At where I work, I got a car seat for really, really cheap. I think I spent like, I had store credit, and then like I think total I spent like $11 that day, and that included the car seat. So now I have a car seat that I take all the time, because I have a car, of course. Now I have a nice car, so I take them to and from work with me all the time. The Reborns, ones that I paint and cure, they usually come with me to work, so I don't get bored, and I can at least do something with them while I'm there and waiting for customers to come in. And luckily, I work at a place where I can do that comfortably, and have a doll there, and no one's mean about it. But it didn't have the stroller base, and I wanted to take them, like, the dolls to the park, and I was like, I am not carrying a, like, I'm not carrying that carrier throughout the park. Like, that's not happening. So I kept waiting and waiting and waiting for a stroller base to come in that I could use for the car seat. You one that you could just snap on the car seat to. And so one day, out of a blue, this guy came in. He had like this stroller base, and then he also had a normal stroller that doesn't fit the car seat on it. And he was saying that the Goodwills wouldn't take the car seats because, I mean, not the car seats, the strollers, because they have some policy against strollers. And he was saying how he didn't want to sell them or like consign them. He wanted to donate them. And I was like, oh my gosh, what? And they were in really good condition, both the stroller and the stroller base for the car seat. And he was like, yeah, no, I don't want to sell them, because what we do is we are a consignment store, so you would get credit when your items sell. For gear, that's like 50-50. So the store gets 50% of whatever you sold, and then you get for 50%. So, but he was like, no, I don't, no, 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 I don't want to consign. I don't want the money. I just want to donate them and pay it forward. And so I was like, well, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll take the car seat, the car seat stroller base, and we donated the stroller. So I ended up getting a stroller base for free, and it was just so random, and it made me so happy and excited. It's just one of those little things that I was like, I'm glad I waited, and I had a feeling I should have waited, and it was really, I don't know, I'm still excited about it. It was pretty cool. Best things in life are free. So can't beat that. But it fits the stroller. It's not the exact same brand, but since it's a reborn, not a real baby, it doesn't have this. The stroller, the car seat fits onto the base, but it's a little like it doesn't like snap onto it because they're different brands. But it holds it, so that's all that I care about for obviously for the purposes of a fake baby. I don't need it to be super secure. Um, but yeah, I was really, really, I was stoked about that. I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god! And he wants to donate it for free. He just wants to give it away. Um, so I as soon as he left, I tried it on the bit because I had the car seat with me. I had one of the dolls with me that day. Anyway, so I had him in the car seat, and I was like, let me just try to see if it works. And if it didn't, I was obviously just gonna give it away and donate it. But yeah, it fit. So I now have a stroller that fits that car seat, and so now I can take them to the park whenever I get time eventually. And it's been so beautiful out here, you guys, up in the mountains. It's been weird though, the weather, because it's like, I don't know, like this morning I woke up at 6 for my exam, and it was pitch black, of course, outside. And I almost slipped and fell because right outside my apartment was a layer of ice because that's how cold it has been getting all of a sudden. And then this afternoon it was like 60. So I don't, it's really weird. It was like 20 something this morning, and then it got up to 60 today. So it's been weird. The weather, it's just trying to decide if it wants to actually feel like fall or not up here. But the leaves have been beautiful. I'll have to show you guys outside in a second. It's just so nice outside right now. I could have been doing this out there, on my porch, because I do have a porch. Um, but yeah, guys, so that means I eventually, whenever I have free time, hopefully soon, once all this slows down as far as exams and projects and things do, hopefully I'll get to one of our local parks soon and take out one of the dolls and film a nice little video of me walking around the park. Usually, the park I'm thinking of, there's usually a lot of people there, so that's going to be a little bit interesting. But when I go out with the dolls, I always carry a business card so that I don't look as, crazy. I'm like, well, you see, look, I have a YouTube channel and it's a whole thing. It's not like I just believe these dolls are real, you know. There's a whole thing behind it. It's not me just being crazy. So usually I carry almost all the time I carry like a some kind of card with my YouTube or my, Instagram information so that people can look it up for themselves. And, and if they're interested, they can also find out more about that, reborns through that as well. So, plus it's like free advertisement, basically. Good things come to those who wait. It was meant to be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt like it was just like perfect. I was like, wow, okay, because we get stroller bases in there from time to time, um, but not as often as you would think. But yeah, I kept waiting and waiting on for one that would fit the car seat, and we kept getting these double stroller bases, which was not what I needed at all. That's too much because I'm never taking out I only have one car seat, and I'm never taking out two dolls at a time like that. It's just too much work. Um, unless they were like, I made another set of twins and I wanted to take them both out and take pictures. That's the only time at this point I would be taking out two dolls at once, because that's just so much effort. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited to take it out for a stroll. Literally the stroller. Take it out for a stroll around the park in this beautiful, beautiful fall time. I think I've got most of the seeds, all the seeds. I think there's 1, 2, 3 more seeds in here. Let me get the seeds out. And then I'm going to show you really quick outside before the sun starts to go down, because it goes down quite early now, of course. And then this is before we even do fall back, which I don't even know what day that is. I'll have to remember. Well, my phone automatically does it. So the only thing I'll have to adjust is like my car clock and then the clock on my oven. Okay, let's see. I think. Let me wash my hands before I pick up my phone. That would be not a great idea. Oh, there's more seeds. Never mind. What? Where did those come from? Okay. And then we can get to the actual carving. This is just the preparatory step. As one knows, if you've ever carved a pumpkin, you got to do this first. Although I've seen people not like take out the guts before they start carving, which is kind of weird to me, because you would be carving into all this like seedy, mushy stuff. Like, wouldn't that be kind of counterproductive? Okay. I'm trying to make sure I get every single seed that I can use to roast. Oh, there's more seeds like on the rim of the top. Okay. There we go. Messy, messy, messy. Last seeds. And then we can take a look outside. Soon I'm going to have a really nice view of the mountains, because all the leaves on the tree that's like blocking the view from my part of the porch is they're slowly falling off, obviously fall. So they're falling. I'm using like my wrist to hold the phone. But they're slowly falling off, and you'll see those. I'm just gonna prop you up against the microwave while I wash my hands really quick. Okay. I think I should. I'm trying to think what I should put the seeds in to soak, because I need to leave the pot for when I eat something tonight for dinner. Okay, I have these plastic containers I'll sit in real quick. And then we can filter off all the like gross stuff. I still like have not finished at all the things that I want to do in my apartment, because it's just, like I said, it's been so crazy. But once I graduate, I'm gonna stay here for a while, because the PA program is actually still here in this town. So I'm gonna be in this town for a little while, like in this apartment for a couple years. But like, I've been working on this poor like nightstand since I basically moved in. Removing all the paint, it's taking so long, and trying to sand it down so that I can repaint it stain it a different color has been taking so long. So it's just been in the middle like of my kitchen, like when you walk in, for the longest time. And I really need to finish it, but I really haven't had the time between, reborning and work and schoolwork. But soon I will finish it eventually. It's almost done. I just need to get into the corners and stuff and remove the rest of the paint from the corners. Let's take a look outside. Right. So you see what I mean by the trees right there? We're up on a hill, so they're slowly falling. But if you move down, you can start to see the mountains there in the background. But I eventually want to get a better chair for out here because right now I just have like one of those cheap folding chairs. But it's really nice out here today. And then there's woods over there, of course. Yeah. It's beautiful. But I want to get a nicer chair to make it look actually nice out here. I think I'll start like a miniature garden out here in the spring so that I can have fresh vegetables and stuff, right? And like herbs and stuff right outside my door. Because I have a pretty big space out here. There's definitely enough room to do that on my, because I'm on the end. So I have this whole like corner that I can garden in. So that's the plan anyway. Okay. All right. I have all the lights off if you're wondering why it's so dark in here. I try to keep my energy bill low. And right now I don't really need the light. Okay. But yeah, so that's my little porch area. I love it out there. I just haven't had I don't sit out there much because the weather has been either too hot or too cold. And like I said, I don't have like a nice sitting chair, and I'm hoping that's going to change soon because one of these weekends I want to go to our local like thrift store that has like all this furniture. It's a Habitat for Humanity Restore, I think that's what it's called, where it's like just furniture basically that's been thrifted. So that's the hope anyway, to go there and see if they have any nice chairs that could be nice outside, or if it's even if it's just like a chair that has good bones. I have all this stuff that I can like repaint the chair with, refinish the chair with. So even if it's not the prettiest, I can make it look nicer. um so we'll see, but that is the hope. Okay, I think now I'm ready to try to trace these and carve around them, but I don't know how to do this. I think I'll use the double-sided tape. I have double-sided tape. Oh, I'm glad I have that double-sided tape, so I can use the double-sided tape to stick them out like the pieces of the template onto the pumpkin and then draw around them. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Be great out to sit outside, do your studying, and just have a coffee with friends. Yeah, I've gone out there a few times to study, and that's always nice. But I got some hot chocolate the other day when I was at the store, so I'm going to start drinking my hot chocolate out there soon. But I definitely want a better chair, like I said, because I feel like my my butt is going to hurt if I sit in that chair for too long that I have now out there. Because it's like, again, one of those cheapo nylon chairs. So using my double-sided tape, gonna paste these on here, and then we're gonna really kick it up into some carving time. Okay, how do I do this? I'm trying to make sure it actually looks like the face. I'm trying to like I said, I want to do some more outings, and I'm trying to, figure out new ideas all the time, because it's just kind of like I don't want to do the same kind of like things all the time, but also I don't do like a lot of the things that a lot of the Reborn YouTubers do. Like, I don't really do role playing or any of that. It's just not my thing. So that kind of limits what you can do as a reborn YouTuber if you don't want to do that. So I'm trying to like be creative and think of things to do. The video that I'm going to do next is talking about alternative reborns, because I think they're really interesting. And it's the perfect time to talk about them because it's it's October and they're spooky. Okay, where did the eyes go? Eyes go here. But yeah, I'm always trying to come up with like ideas, but it's kind of hard when you're not like a normal uh, reborn YouTuber, like the ones that do a bunch of the hauls and go shopping and take them out all the time. I don't really do that kind of stuff, so it's kind of difficult and different. But I like doing chat topics, but people also get tired of just hearing me chat about things that are going on in the reborn community. So I want to switch it up a little bit and try to do different things. If you guys have any ideas, I would love some new ideas. I'm going to post on Instagram too, looking for some new ideas. Let's take this on there. Okay. Double-sided tape. You are a lifesaver. This isn't right. Oh, this is not how it's supposed to line up. Hold on. There we go. And now we trace. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. I love alternative reborns, vampires, werewolf, dragons, etc. I have quite a few. So yeah, so I made that vampire. I don't know if you saw that on my other video. And he's just sitting. No one wants to buy him. People keep saying he's cute, but they just aren't buying him. And it's I will not be making another alternative doll unless it's a like custom order, because I should have learned my lesson from the last time I made an alternative doll. I made I think it was last year or the year before. All my years are blending together at this point. But I made last year or the year before for Valentine's Day. I made a little Cupid doll, and she took forever to sell, and I should have taken that as, don't do that again. But I was so in like the Halloween spirit that I wanted to do another. I wanted to do a vampire because I grew up being like obsessed with vampires. Because my mom was. She loves vampires. So I also really appreciate all the Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire, all of that. But yeah, he's taking forever to sell, and I should have remembered that alternatives take forever to sell. They really do, because it's such a specific thing. It's not like your regular reborn where usually I'm so used to my dolls selling like within a few hours to a few days, usually, that I guess I've been spoiled by that. And so now that one isn't selling, I'm like losing my mind. Oh gosh, I keep getting emails. What do they want? But yeah, I keep getting frustrated because people keep messaging me asking about him and then not buying him, and I'm just like, okay. what's going on. Okay. I'm trying to line this up perfectly or decently. I think this is as good as we're going to get. So let me get something to trace. And then we can cut out the first face. Let me move you guys so I can still see comments while I'm doing this. Oh. The right buyer will come along. It'll be customs that stop me. UK customs. Oh yeah, I've never sold to the UK. I don't think yet. Canada, yes, but the UK no, because I've heard about the customs, how they're absolutely ridiculous. So I don't blame you at all for that. It's weird though. I've had yeah, no, I think I've only sold to Canada. Can't remember. Even still, Canadian shipping is kind of ridiculous. And that's just, you're not even really going far. And it's really quite expensive just for Canada. So I can only imagine. Okay, that is traced. Yeah, I want to be able to ship worldwide, but again, most people aren't going to be willing to pay that much for to ship unless it's like a really important doll to them, which I have sold. I sold that. I don't know if I showed. Yeah, I was working on him still in that video. I finished that Kai kit that I was doing, the really like chunky one that is really sought after. I finished him and he sold like 2 hours later. I knew he was going to sell really quickly because before I even finished them, I had people interested in him because that's how sought after like that kit is. Like he was so limited edition and so chunky and cute, and everyone, like most people, love that kit. So I knew he was going to sell fast. So I was very happy that he actually went ahead and sold as quick as he did. That was good. I love that. I was very happy, and I sent him out earlier this week. So he'll be getting to his new home soon. She said she was going to do a box opening on her YouTube channel. I forgot what her YouTube channel is, though. I feel so bad. But I'll share it with you guys if she does do a box opening like she said. Oh no, this pen is starting not to work on the pumpkin. There we go. But yeah, so she said she was going to do a box opening. So I'm excited because I've only had a few people do box opening on cameras, because a lot of the people I end up selling to aren't like YouTubers for whatever reason. And so like they just don't do box openings, of course. Unless they're a YouTuber. So I'm really excited to see another one. I've had a few people do box opening of my dolls, but not that many. I should count up how many dolls I've sold at this point. Gosh, it's got to be like at least 60, I think, that I've painted and sold over the years, over the last 2.5 years that I've been painting. I think it's got to be like 70 at least at this point. I had a list that I had started counting up all the dolls that I made. Love box opening of artists that you like. I do not have a channel. Yeah, a lot of people don't, which I don't blame them. It's a lot of effort to keep up a channel. And if you don't have the time, you don't have the time. Or if you're not comfortable doing that, it's completely understandable. Okay. Still tracing. I had to choose a more complicated face, of course, because why would I make it easy? I think I'm just going to do the one side. at least today. Maybe I'll go back and like do his other face tomorrow after class because I work this week. I work Friday, all day Saturday, and then all of Sunday, basically, like I said. So I'm going to be working a lot this week, which is good because that means more money, but also working every day for 3 days in a row is not something I'm used to doing anymore, because I've been only really working a few days a week at the most because I supplement my income with the relearning, so I don't have to work as much as other people at a 9 to 5 or whatever, or a side job. Okay. I do need to. I know one video thing that I need to uh, that people keep begging me to do is update. Because I did a year or so ago. I don't really know how long ago it was, but I did like a tutorial. But I no longer paint that way, and so I have a lot of people asking me, can you show us how you paint now and how you've changed your techniques and what you do differently. And I have been meaning to do that. I just haven't gotten around to it. Again, like I said, it's been crazy. But I do want to do that because I always want to, if I can help anyone, even though I'm still a new artist and I completely know that my painting is still not perfect or high high quality. I think it's decent quality. So if I can help anybody even get a little bit better, that's what I want to do, which is why I made that tutorial when I was even just painting for a year, because people were asking me, how did you start off? What do you do? Um, as far as starting to paint these dolls, because there's not a lot of tutorials out there for different skin tones. So if I can, I'll try to help someone. But I usually pretty quick of answering questions, though. At least when people ask me questions about painting, I try to answer as quick as I see them. But I'm not perfect with answering questions. Okay, he is all traced. I might have to turn on the light for this part, the carving part. But yeah, I don't know, you guys. Has this year, like this is like the first real Halloween, because last year's wasn't like a real Halloween because COVID shut literally everything down, uh as far as Halloween events went, for here at least. Um so I don't know, it's just weird that now all of a sudden it snuck up on me. Like, I can't believe it's Sunday is Halloween. It doesn't feel like it for me. At least to me, it feels weird. Does anyone else feel like it's been weird? Hello. Yeah, so those tutorials are old now. I definitely don't paint like that anymore. Um, I do a lot of things that are different as far as my painting from those videos. So they're a bit out of date. Okay, this is where it gets difficult. I'm starting to actually carve the pumpkin now. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I always appreciate when people ask me questions because it does make you feel at least like, oh, you think I'm a decent artist, that you want to ask questions. So that does make me feel good. And like I said, I'm always happy to help because I know how hard it can be to find any advice. And then what I've noticed a lot about like really like not good artists is they don't give out any kind of advice because they're all like, well, I don't want to tell my secrets or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter even if you like release a tutorial, people aren't going to be able to perfectly replicate your style of painting if it's very specific to you. I mean, I never get that because it's like you're just being rude and mean. I mean, yeah, it's your right to share how you paint or not, but I just feel like it's like no one's ever going to be able to match the level that you do, even if you share a perfect tutorial of yourself painting, because they're not you, you know. That's how I feel about it. Carve this pumpkin. I get a lot of my painting. Yes, I love carving pumpkins as well. But yeah, I get a lot of my painting steps and stuff. I modify it a little bit from her actual tutorial, but a lot of the paintings I get all my tips and stuff. A lot of them I get from the Brooke Nicole tutorial. I don't know what happened to Brooke Nicole. I don't think she paints anymore. I haven't heard about her in years and years and years, but she used to make these beautiful darker tone babies, different tone babies, and she has a tutorial that has like a bunch of nicely illustrated steps, and then she tells you all the colors that she uses and the mixtures, like the ratios of the colors, everything. She tells you like everything she does, and that's what I use to guide. Well, I don't have to look at it anymore because now obviously I've been using the technique for so many dolls that I don't need to look at the tutorial anymore to know what I'm doing. But I don't follow it exactly. But that's where a lot of my tips I got, that has really helped my painting improve, is that tutorial. I think she still sells it online, but like I said, I don't know where she is. I don't think anyone has heard from her for a while. It's kind of hard to know with certain people who just drop out of the community, that were once, she was a prototype artist. She did a bunch of prototypes. You probably seen her work and you didn't know who it was, but her name's Brooke Nicole. Wonderful tutorial. Very easy to follow because it's so thorough. So yeah, if you are looking for, now it's not a video tutorial, and I know a lot of people learn best on video. I do. So it was a little bit difficult just at very first time I used it because obviously you're not actually seeing her in real time do the painting steps. So that can be a little difficult if you're like me and you learn best from video, which is why a lot of people do want me to do videos, because that's how a lot of people learn. You know, you need to see someone actually doing something. So I will definitely try to get around to it once I graduate. I'm thinking that video, though, I did release finally the video everyone was asking about, was rooting, all the rooting tips I had learned up to this point, and hopefully that's helpful, because a lot of those mistakes were mistakes that I made when I first started rooting. So if I can help someone avoid those mistakes, I definitely will. But that was for sure a video that a lot of people were asking about, like, because there's not a lot of good videos talking about all the things that I talked about in that video of how to root, what rooting is, where to begin, where to get tools and everything you need. There's not really a bunch of thorough videos about that. I admire reborn artists because it takes real talent and patience to make a reborn. Yeah, I don't know if talent, because I feel like if any, I mean, you, of course you have to have some kind of artistic skill. However, I don't think you have to be like especially talented in reborning to start reborning, if that makes sense. Because it's all about like learning from a tutorial and then starting to practice that. And the more you practice, unless you have no artistic skill at all, you'll inevitably get better at reborning. So I feel like it doesn't take a specific person to learn how to reborn dolls. It definitely takes patience though. That's definitely for sure. Like when I'm sitting there and I'm doing another layer of paint, it can get frustrating. But what I do most of the times is I'll watch a movie while I'm doing, like, on my phone while I'm painting, or I'll listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, listen to music. And that absolutely makes everything a lot better because I can catch up on shows but still be productive at the same time. So that helps a lot with, especially with rooting, and it helps a lot when you're doing multiple layers of, you're just sitting there painting over and over, layer after layer, like I do for my darker skinned dolls. You got to do lots of layers, but not as many. I don't do as many layers as some people seem to think you have to do. I would say probably on my darker dolls that I do, I think I do probably like 10 to 12 layers of paint. It's all about how you paint. I know people who do like hundreds of layers on their darker skin tone dolls. And because I use the Brooke Nicole tutorial, I don't have to do that because a lot of the skin tone color actually comes from the shading technique that she does, that I use. So it's all about your technique. You know, knowing how to use the paints, how making the paints work for you, and all that kind of idea. But yeah, no, I don't do that many layers as a lot of people seem to think you do. Hello, Vivian. Hello, Lulu. Or I think Lulu was already here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up and also not chop off my finger while I'm doing this. Okay, I'm working on the eyes right now, which have a lot of curves in it. And since I don't have like an actual carving knife, I have to be careful not to cut the wrong spot. How have you guys been? How's your week been, y'all? Are y'all doing anything interesting for Halloween this Sunday? It's kind of weird because it's on a Sunday, um, which is a school night for a lot of people, which is kind of sad for me because I did want to, you know, have some adult beverages with my friend, but I have class the next morning, and it's a class that I don't want to miss. It's my biochem class. So I was like, we can't really drink because then I wouldn't really want to get up early for class the next day. So we're not going to do really any drinking, probably. I'm staying home with my son. We'll just have a little party with us, just us. See, that's nice though, like spending that quality time. Um, Even if it's just the few of y'all. Quality time is never a bad idea. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no, I think it's just gonna be like a couple of us hanging out. Like I said, we'll probably go trick or treating if we can still get away with it. I think we'll definitely be able to get away with it. We look 12, so me and my friend, we look 12, so we'll get away with trick or treating and then go probably back to her apartment and hang out. I have to go take my Great Danes for a walk before going to bed, before I see Mr. Pumpkin finish. Oh, have a good night. Those are big dogs. Great Danes. Oh my gosh. How's it coming, the pumpkin? I'll show you in a second when I can figure out how to get these eyes out without messing them up. This is the hardest part, I think. All these curves. Okay. Oh my gosh, this eye is so difficult. And I have another one to do. Okay. I don't know how it's coming along, to be honest. Because I feel like I don't want to cut too deep and accidentally cut off the eyes. Daft as chocolate teapots. Not sure what that means. I feel like that's mostly slang. I don't know what that means. we got part of the eye out. This eye is destroying me. But I am determined to get this eye out. And the thing is, I was just at Walmart and I definitely should have just went ahead and bought a pumpkin carving kit, because then you have it for the rest of the years that you carve pumpkins. But I just didn't think to grab it, I think. I was so like hyper focused on my list that I didn't even think to grab but I looked at them and I just kept walking. And I'm regretting that decision now, because this would have been a lot easier if I had an actual pumpkin carving set of knives. Okay, come on. I know you want to come out. It's this last little piece of this one eye. Oh gosh. Well, pumpkin just went flying on the ground. Are y'all guys carving pumpkins though? I know you said you're gonna hang out with your son, or have you already carved pumpkins? I know I'm a little bit late. I've actually had this pumpkin since the beginning of the month. But as long as you don't carve them, pumpkins can last quite a while. I think they said like a pumpkin uncarved can last for like 2-3 months. We're carving pumpkins. We usually carve them the night before Halloween. Okay, maybe okay. Well, I guess I'm not too late then. Because I feel like I was late carving mine. I didn't want to carve it too early though anyway, because then it would have gone bad before Halloween. Even still, I don't know how long this is going to last. It should last until Sunday. We'll see. Now I'm cutting out the other eye, and then I'll show you my progress so far. Yeah, this was a bad idea without an actual carving kit to do something with this many curves. It's the issue with this knife is I'm trying to carve something that's curvy with a kitchen knife. Okay. I'm always like, I used to watch those like reality shows where they would do like all these intricate pumpkin carving, and I never understood how you could do that. It's so crazy to me, because like pumpkins are so fragile, you know? Like I don't know how they do it. It's amazing to me that you can carve a pumpkin how they do. Like they do like layers of, I don't know how to explain it. Like they don't carve all the way through the pumpkin, and they do like layers into the pumpkin, and they make all these like really intricate faces and stuff. Hi, how are you? Okay. Yeah, I don't know how people do that. Like I'm like, I would make one wrong cut and then the whole pumpkin wouldn't look right. Um, and I would fail the competition. But I used to watch those all the time. Like they would come on, I think like Discovery TV or something like that. Pumpkin carving contests around this time of the year. Okay, this is not going all the way through. Go all the way through. Ow. My finger is cramping. That's why I said ow. I didn't cut myself. It's because of how I'm holding the knife to try to carve. My finger's like cramping. Come on, eye. Come on. Oh, there is pumpkin everywhere. By the way, I'm gonna have to vacuum up pumpkin. I'm great. I'm happy that I'm finally having time to carve a pumpkin. Had an exam this morning, like I was telling everyone earlier, that I'm a little nervous about. I don't know how I did. It's like impossible to guess now for that class, biochemistry. But other than that, yeah, I'm happy to be finally doing something that's really fall like. Like we went to the pumpkin patch when I was in Winston Salem, and that was really fall like. I love going to pumpkin patches. Um, but other than that, I think that was the most fall thing I've done up till now, as far as tis the season type of situation. But yeah, I'm happy to be carving a pumpkin, and then I'm gonna have some hot chocolate, which some might argue is more Christmassy, but whatever. It's cold up here in the mountains, so I can have a hot chocolate if I want. I don't know how I did because with her first, this is the second exam we've had for her. For the first exam of her class, I thought I did really well, and I didn't. No one did well. The average class average was a 59, so no one did well at all. But everyone thought that they did a lot better. So that's what I'm saying. Like I can't predict how I did because I feel like I did okay. I feel like I did at least better than I did on the first exam. Um, but like I literally can't predict anymore. I don't feel like I can be confident in her class anymore after that. But we'll see. We'll see. Pumpkin patch is the best. Love the bonfire. I have not gone to a bonfire in a long time. I want to. One of the neighbors near here has a like a fire pit, but I don't know them, so I'm not going to just be like, hey, when they're using their fire pit, can I join you? Like, how weird would that be? Like, I've never talked to this neighbor before. Um, they live in a house, not in an apartment complex, of course. You're not allowed to have like uh, grills and stuff like that here because college students are a lot of them are stupid and would set the place on fire. Um, but yeah, I a neighbor has one who lives in one of the houses on this road has a nice fire pit. I'm like, oh, I wish I knew them. But I also never see them, so it's weird. Like I know they live there, and I know they come and go because I see the car coming and going, but I have never seen them, which is weird. Very spooky. Oh gosh. Oh, I meant to show you guys. This is the mayor's angry, sad face from Nightmare Before Christmas that I'm working on. Oh, I'm trying to turn the camera. So I've got his eyes out. I'm going to clean it up with the X-Acto knife because you can see the inside needs to be cleaned out. And right now I'm working on the rest. But I got those parts out, and then I'll go back and clean it up. Okay, turn back around. But yeah, I really want to go to a bonfire. That would be nice, especially because of how, like I said, how cold it's been getting lately. I have a feeling it's going to snow soon. A few years ago, it actually snowed on Halloween up here in the mountains, so it's definitely a possibility. Snow here is literally possible from October to April. I think last year it snowed on April's Fool's Day, and I was like, huh, okay. So yeah, it snows whenever it really wants to up here. And like I said, there was already ice out this morning on my porch, so I feel like snow is coming soon, which I will be happy about only because I like snow, but also I'll have to like walk and drive in it, which is going to be the not so fun part. But if I didn't have to drive anywhere, it'd be so great. But we didn't have a whole bunch of snow last year, and it was a little disappointing because I like to go sledding on our campus because it's so hilly that there's a lot of places on campus that are really, really fun to go sled down. So I did go sledding like once, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't that fun. And I always build like igloos and snowmen, and I just love the snow as the concept. The concept of snow. If I'm not driving in it. This will be my first year I probably have to drive in snow. So I'm sure I'll have a different feeling about snow once I actually have to go through the process of moving around in it. But they up here they salt the roads pretty well, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue, I don't think. Plus my car has all-wheel drive, so that helps as well. And then I can get some snow tires and I'll be set. This is a hard design because there's so many curves. I have to cut like in sections of the section so that I can get all the curves right. Otherwise, it won't be right at all. Oh, okay. Did I get that section out? Did I carve it all the way through? Nope. Okay. I feel like, oh gosh. Next, I don't know. Like, I still am going back and forth if I want to do the other side as well. I think it'd be cool, but I don't feel like doing that today at least. Oh no, come on. Cut through. This pumpkin is weird. It's like soft but super firm in some places. Maybe it's because I've had it for a month. So it's like unpredictable of how much force I need to get through certain spots on it. Or though that could just be because it's a natural pumpkin. I don't know. Maybe next year instead of carving, I'll just carve out the insides and then paint the pumpkin. What is that? Oh, that's my alarm because usually we have tutoring around this time, but since we had the exam today, we're not having tutoring today. I'm feeling thirsty. Let me go get my ginger ale to drink. Breaking out a sweat doing this. What are you guys' favorite? Do you guys like scary movies? I don't know. I go back and forth with if I like scary movies or not. I think a lot of them are just kind of stupid. Like they're not scary. They're just like, I don't know, cliche at this point. So many of the movies that are supposed to be like scary, I'm like, well, I've seen that before. It's kind of disappointing. And also, I don't really get scared by like fake things that I know are fake. What really scares me are like the true crime things. That's what scares me because that's things that really happen to people, and that's way more terrifying. I think than all the made up stuff. Okay. But do y'all watch scary movies? Do y'all like scary movies? A lot of scary movies I kind of just laugh at, honestly. The only scary movie I think that has actually scared me is Jeepers Creepers. And that's because my brother, we were in a different mountain, not the mountain I live in now. But this was at our resort that we have in Virginia. Uh, but I was like 7, and he made me watch Jeepers Creepers in the mountains, and it was the most terrifying thing because the mountains where we were, like the resort, wasn't like a super modern resort. It's like an older resort, so it's kind of spooky anyway. And then he made me watch that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm too young for this. This is terrifying." But yeah, Jeepers Creepers, that's the movie that I still can't watch. Like it just freaks me out still, because I have like flashbacks from that time. But I'll watch like other movies like The Conjuring, and I'll just like laugh because I was like, it's ridiculous. Like especially if it has bad like special effects. I'm like, come on, y'all, do better. But yeah, true crime is what gets me for sure. Because then I get paranoid. Then I'm like, oh gosh, who knows what people around me are capable of? People are crazy, and that's the people you should be worried about. But I do believe in ghosts, though. I had an encounter with a ghost of a family member. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was at my nana's house, and she has like ashes from a few of our family members in the house, and so I'm pretty sure it was like a family member's spirit. But yeah, I definitely believe in like spirits at least because I feel like I've had an encounter with one, and I still don't have an explanation for it. So I'm like, okay, I definitely believe that I had that encounter. And I guess, it sounds crazy if you don't believe in ghosts at all or you haven't had any kind of experience. Probably sound crazy, but definitely believe that I experienced a spirit. That's my chair creaking if you're wondering because I'm moving around so much. Trying to cut this pumpkin. Oh my gosh. I'm almost finished this one side of the face. This is taking a lot longer than I expected. Much regret. This is kind of like one of the only times I wish I had a toddler because this could be fun to take pictures of them carving the pumpkin. Like, I think that would have been cute to have pictures like that with a toddler doll. But that's like those type of like pictures are the only reason I would want a toddler. But for every other reason, they freak me out. So I wouldn't want one. Like I would want one only for pictures, and then I would like hide it in a closet somewhere when I wasn't taking pictures. Which is not this is a little messed up, but that's how I feel about toddlers at this point. Open-eyed dolls in general freak me out. Like I've had June. She paid off June 7 months awake. The customer today, so I'm gonna try to get her shipped out tomorrow afternoon. But I've been like, it's been freaking me out because she's been in my painting room for this past month, and she's got open eyes. So every time I go in there, she like is right there staring at me. Okay. But yeah, so. Oh, my friend just texted me. What did she say? Everyone's going to a drag show Halloween night. I'm not a type of. I'm not really a party person, and that sounds like it's going to be a lot of people. I don't know. I have to decide if I want to do that or not. I'm like an old man, is what my friends say. Like I'm really like I like to stay in and have a small gathering rather than go to a party. I'd rather have a few drinks with a few friends rather than a party atmosphere. It's just not my thing. It's just too many things going on. Oh, no, I cut into the eye. Okay, we can salvage this. But yeah, I'm not a party person at all. Too much stuff going on at parties for me. I get overwhelmed. Can you guys still hear me? I don't even know at this point. I've just been like talking. Ah. We are reaching the finish line. I am so happy. I need to get something to drink. Oh, I love ginger ale so much. All right, we are so close. I just have this one side left in like the mouth, and then I should be done. And then maybe I'll clean it up later on today. But I want to get to painting some layers because I have these customs that I need to really get some work done on. They've been really patient because they understand I'm so close to graduation that that's where my mind has to be right now. And I'm always very open about that. I'm like, I'm not gonna take like years to do your doll, and I will usually do finished dolls less than 2 months. I think the longest doll that it took me was 2 months, and that was like when I was really busy. So I always let people know, you know, that I have stuff coming up or that it's going to take me longer, and that my schooling always will come first until I graduate. So if you're ever getting accustomed for me, well, by the time probably most people get accustomed now, I'll already be graduated and it won't be as big of a deal. But I always let people know ahead of time, that my schoolwork will 100% always come first because reborning is not as much as a priority, because it's just not at this point in my life. It's not going to be the top priority, but I will get your dolls to you in a timely manner. That's for sure. I don't understand how some artists will take 6 months, a year, 2 years. 6 months, I guess I could understand. If you got a lot of things going on, but like 2 years, a year, whoa, that's a long time, dude. I've waited, the longest I waited for a custom was 7 months, and I ended up not even liking the doll by the time I got it because I ended up not liking the kit as much as I thought I did. You guys probably remember that one. She was beautifully painted. I love that artist's work to this day, and she's a wonderful, nice lady. She's amazing, and she's a very, very talented at vinyl doll painting, and she's very talented now at silicone painting. But by the time I got the kit, I was like, I actually don't really like this kit. And so I sold her very shortly after getting her, despite having waited for her for like 7 months. So that was, oh gosh, what kit was that? Kiara. It was the Kiara kit that I had briefly. Like I said, she was beautifully painted, and her hair, the rooting that artist does is amazing. But I just I didn't like the kit anymore. So what are you going to do about that? It doesn't matter how nicely done a doll is. If you don't like the kit anymore, you just don't like the kit. So I end up selling her for what I paid, you know, of course. But that was disappointing. I was mostly disappointed in myself because I was like, I wish I liked the kit. But there's just something about the Kiara kit I don't like. I think it's the lips on that kit. Like, they just look too smooth. Like, it doesn't look right. It's the same reason why I don't like Macy by Cassie Brace. I just feel like the lips don't look right. But I'm really, like, picky. But I love Kier. I still have him, of course, and I still love him. And I still love the kit for sure. So he's going to be around for quite a while because I just really like how I love that artist's work. She doesn't paint. She doesn't paint dolls super often because she's busy. She's like a mom and all this stuff. So I treasure that it's her work as well. And then it just makes it better that it's like my favorite kit. The Sam I'm talking he's the Sam kit by Gundren Legler. That's the kit I'm talking about. By Kier. That's his name. But he's the Sam by Gundren Legler. I just love that kit. I think he's so peaceful. I don't know. That kit just I love it. And I still like it, even though I see him like every day. So I haven't yet found another kit like that I still feel like I like it after seeing it every day for months and months. Because I've had him now since I think July, which is fairly long for me. I usually cycled through dolls pretty quickly, buy, sell, because I'm picky and I want to experience a lot of different kits usually. Come on. Cut through. Why aren't you coming off the pumpkin? Oh, I don't know. What is going on? Okay, there we go. Haha, we are definitely almost done, guys. Ah. I feel like this is a weird live because you're not really seeing much of me or what I'm doing because I don't know how to situate what I'm doing in the camera and oh gosh. And I keep dropping the phone because my hands are all pumpkiny and slippery. Okay. I'll show you guys what I'm doing in a second. My friends are asking me are we still, because tomorrow one of the local places is going to show Beetlejuice, and I've actually only seen Beetlejuice I think once, and I don't really remember it, so we were going to go see that tomorrow night because I don't work tomorrow night, I work Friday, so we're going to see if we can go see that when they're showing it. I need to respond to that message and say, yes, I still want to see the movie. And my best friend was asking me if I still wanted to see the movie. Okay. This is hard. This is so hard. Okay. Why? Let me show you how much I have left. Oh, my phone is gonna die at some point. Rotate. I don't know if you can see. This is basically what I have left, and then the teeth. You can't really see what he looks like in this lighting, I don't think. He's the little mayor dude from Nightmare Before Christmas. Ah. Oh my gosh, slippery hands. There we go. Let me finish this last part and then the teeth, and I'll pop a light in him or something. Ugh, I still have to clean the seeds and get those ready and prepped. And I need to figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner. I have so much I could cook, but I don't really feel like cooking. I think I'll make spaghetti or something. So I'm pescatarian. I don't know if I've ever said that. I think I have once or twice, which means that the only meat I eat is seafood. So that does limit, of course, a lot of what I can eat. But I feel much better and healthier, and I feel less bad for the environment and the animals. I don't really feel bad for fish that much, but all the other animals I feel quite bad for consuming them. Plus, they're treated horribly. They're unless you buy from like a farmer. Like unless you buy direct, if you're buying from a store that's not direct, the conditions in which animals live in are really, really bad. They're like horrible. But I'm not going to get too preachy about it. But yeah, it's worth thinking about the conditions in which most of our meat in the U.S. comes from, how they're treated. But that's part of the reason why. And plus, it's just like red meat and all that is not good for you. And I was having really bad stomach issues, and I have high blood pressure, which is mostly genetic because my family, they all have high blood pressure. But so I had to cut down on, the sodium intake, and a lot of, red meat and all those meats have a lot of sodium. Oop. Okay, well, that was weird. But so yeah, once I cut back on when I cut out all of that, I started feeling so much better. And I also limit my dairy because I am also lactose intolerant. So the milk I drink is like lactose free, substitute kind of stuff. So that definitely made me feel a lot better. Now I don't really have any stomach issues at all, actually. Maybe it's time to time I'll get an upset stomach, but that's from like acid at that point. Because I used to have gastritis as well, because of course I did. But yeah, once I cut all that, most days I feel fine. So, whereas it used to be like every day I was having some kind of stomach ache, or my blood pressure was super high. I'm on blood pressure medicine as well, in addition to the diet changes, and it's been good. It's been good, guys. I know I'm so young to have like those issues, but it's mostly genetic, so there's nothing I could do about it. It was going to happen at some point, likely. That's why it's also important to know if you can figure out your health history, so that you can be ahead of things like that. Okay. Okay. This last part is giving me trouble. I'm hoping that my professor will grade everything by tonight, but it probably won't be up until tomorrow at the earliest, because I don't think she can grade that fast. Like I was saying earlier, that's a lot of stuff to grade. But I wish she would, so I don't have to stress out about it and I could just know how I did. I really don't feel like doing his teeth. I think this is gonna break if I do his teeth. Oh no. We're just gonna pretend I did his teeth. I'm gonna like paint white on there so it looks like I did his teeth, because I don't want to break this like middle part off. I'll show you in a second what I mean, but I don't want to break the middle part off by trying to carve his teeth. Let me throw away these chunks of pumpkin. Okay. All right, let's show you this, and then I'm gonna probably go live on. No, I'm just gonna finish this up and then start making dinner because it's dinner time now. All right, let's show you. I don't know how much you're seeing, but it's the unhappy version of this guy from the mayor from The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's who he is. It's the unhappy version of this guy because he has two faces. He has this face and then he has an angry face, which I don't feel like cutting out the teeth of. And I'm gonna clean him up and then I'll eventually take pictures of him. But I will see you guys with that planned video that I was talking about earlier. I should be taking that video Friday night when I come home from work. I plan on filming that and uploading that. So that'll be Friday night. And it'll be about alternatives and like how cool they are and like the work that people put into them versus like not so good ones that people you can tell. But I'll get into all of that on Friday's video. So I will see you guys then and have a wonderful rest of your evening and hope you guys do some nice Halloween stuff. And I'll see you guys later.